Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. Each show is filled with news, reviews, interviews, and expert advice from the industry. All for you, the author. And now, here's our host, H.D. Campbell.
Hi, welcome to the Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. As always, I'm your host, H.D. Campbell. I'm right here at the big park, right here in Bonita Park, about to go to an event. It's a beautiful park, it's a beautiful Saturday, and it's just a beautiful day altogether. Because it's a beautiful day, I want to start off by bringing you a wonderful show today. I have a very special hour-long interview. You remember Frangela, Frances Callier Angela Shelton, the comedy duo they call Frangela? I got a chance to catch up with them since my first show. So when we come back, we'll have an exclusive interview with Frangela.
Have you experienced the Bruce Williams series of books, How to Lose a Black Woman and Geraldine? Experience Bruce Williams' journey, true love, and possible missteps along the way through his eyes, his poetry, and prayers. Then, meet Geraldine, whose own search for love makes some quite interesting and possibly dangerous turns. When she gets involved in a love triangle, she must find out within herself whom she wants to be with and whom she needs to be with. With special appearances by Bruce Williams, Geraldine and her friends help you experience her journey. Try How to Lose a Black Woman and Geraldine at your local bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or on your Nook and Kindle tablet.
Hi, this is Luna Charles. I'm the author of Men Are Not the Problem. I know what you're thinking, ladies. Men are the problem, but really and truly, let's learn to take our lives into our hands and deal with our relationship. This is the story of a young woman that realized that loving somebody else more than you love yourself is not the answer to love. Follow her journey so that you could maybe figure out the same thing, or you may say she's wrong. Either way, it's a great story.
We're ready.
All right.
Oh, boom.
All right. Well, how you guys been since we last spoke?
We've been great. You know, I mean, number one, we live in LA, which is sunny and fantastic. You can't ask for more, you know.
Love it.
And, you know, having a lot of fun. We've been touring since we last talked to you. We started touring a lot. We tour a lot of colleges and are on the road a lot, so that's a lot of fun. We have been all back and forth over this great U.S. of A.
Oh, okay. So, what projects have you been doing in between since our last?
We've done, we're on Quick Draw on Hulu. We're recurring characters on that.
Ooh.
We're actually animal rights activists in an old western black town.
Oh!
It's awesome. Yeah. But we've got John Lear and Nancy Howler are the creators of that, and that's totally fun and been great. We've been in a couple movies. We were just in, I think it's coming out now or soon. Yeah, it came out Slow Learners. And then there's another one. There's something else we were in that we keep forgetting to mention. Really? Yeah, and I'm forgetting again. Okay. We should get one of those, what do they call them, resumes? Yes. You can also catch us on a show called My Apocalypse on Access TV right now.
Right.
You can also we've been doing a lot of writing and producing on television shows too as well. Some we'll admit to, some we won't. Some we won't.
Well,
you're just gonna have to guess.
Well, you know, before I begin, I'm going to tell you guys on camera where my crushes begin.
Okay.
Then we'll go back to questions.
Okay.
First, I'll go with Frances.
Yes.
Frances, please don't find me weird or anything, but I was turned on by Hannah Montana's Roxy.
Oh, God! Really?
Yeah, I really was. I'm sorry. Whenever you did the Roxy thing and my eyes are always on you,
The Puma thing?
Yes.
It's like it's the eyes on you.
Right.
You like those strong women.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
That's it. They're on Roxy the Tease. Well, that's funny. That's sweet. You should do like a whole Roxy line of porn.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, I know that's owned by, you're right, it's not owned by. You got a problem? Angela is the most like anti-porn person. I can't believe you just said
some of the nastiest shit I've heard you say.
Oh,
Why don't you blame him?
well, Frances, don't worry. I'm about to pick on Angela in a second.
Okay, good.
I can take
When I saw Angela, well, see, I've seen you all the time. I've seen you on Zach and Cody. But when I saw you on the reality show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, that's when I fell in love with you.
You know, it's breaking up. I couldn't hear you exactly.
He saw you on a Celebrity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I started falling in love with you. I said, well, I don't know which women to choose from.
We did look our best.
We really did. In the hot Costa Rican sun, sweating,
Never go back to that.
naked.
I'm never going back.
But I love you guys. You guys are so wonderful. I love your chemistry and everything. Well, my next question is, and this actually fits in what I'm about to ask. You guys have been a couple longer than most celebrity marriages.
True.
How does it work?
I think it works from a level of respect, and you know, we both really respect each other. And I think what's funny about the both of us is, I think we know each other really well, and we don't expect the other person to change.
No, yeah, and you have to also, I think for any relationship to work, it's helpful if you can laugh about yourself.
Exactly.
And so you have to be, like, we have strategies for when we are annoying the shit out of each other. Like, if she's bugging the shit out of me, like, with her, oh, the air's on me, my humor is, oh, the air.
Chilly. Air blowing on me, HD.
This is fucking Scarlett O'Hara. I can't take it. So we have strategies, like we do this thing where, like, if we have to tell each other something that we think the other one will get defensive about, we do this whole play acting out where I'll say, hey, you know, we're on the phone, like, hey, could you get to Frances, who does yoga, is really into forgiveness and owning her own shit, and I'd like to talk to her for a minute.
And I'll be like, oh, hold on for 1 second. She's doing her sun salutations and saging the apartment. And I'll put the phone down. I'll pretend like I'm running. And I'll be like,
We would do, like, the foot sound.
yeah.
Like, and then I go, hey, you know what I'm thinking? Maybe. You know, and whatever the issue is. So it's just, fundamentally, it's about being able to laugh at yourself. I think not expecting each other to change, but hoping and praying for it.
Yes.
And listening and being respectful.
Also, I'm going to say, we have a really great time with each other.
Yeah.
I think we genuinely
I've been faking it a lot, but
I know. But that's all right for me. I don't care.
We are best friends, so it's like we're already, like, we don't, I think it does sometimes bug people, but we don't need other people to have a good time.
No, we really don't.
So we like it.
You're party all by yourselves.
Yeah, so we have a great time, so that's not hard.
Oh, see, that's wonderful. I mean, I love your relationship. That's another thing I love about you guys. You guys have such a good friendship. That's why I can never say I have crushes on you guys, because I never want you guys fighting over me. Ever.
Yeah, you'd be like a Yoko Ono of this dad would
Right, exactly.
be hated.
Yeah, you break up Frangela.
People would hate you forever.
See, I would never do that. I couldn't do that. Not to you or your fans.
Thank you.
Now, I want to backtrack for a second. I want to go back from the last time we spoke. I want you to remind us, how did you guys meet?
We met in Chicago. We both worked at Second City in Chicago. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's a world-famous theater of improvisation. And Anne's the only person in the Second City history who has done all 4 stages, okay? So she started out in, I'm telling you a story. She started out in Detroit. She went up to Toronto, Second City, which is where you've heard of SCTV and all of those people came out of, and that, like, really a lot of the combination of the first Saturday Night Live cast came out of Second City Toronto and Second City Chicago. And then she came down to Second City Chicago, and she moved into my building. And we sort of kind of peripherally knew each other, but we ran into each other on the stairs, and she said, hey, you want to go to a movie one day? And I was like, sure. And we went, and we laughed and laughed and laughed, and it's been, history ever since.
See, I loved it. So you guys have been living happily ever after since then.
Yeah.
And people always think we were cousins or we've known each other since we were kids or something.
Yeah.
But
even when we had only known each other a few years, people really thought that we were related.
Mhm.
People thought that, you know, like...
we must have grown up together. We must have known each other as kids. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's just like in that kind of Greek way. I think we found our other half.
Yeah.
I love it. Now I want to switch gears for a second.
All right.
Because another reason I love you guys, and I'm just gonna put myself out there. I'm a cartoon video game kind of buff. You guys have done a lot of cartoons. I know recently, Frances, you've done the Cleveland show.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you guys have done video game and cartoon wise? Besides Hey Moni, we'll talk about Hey Moni a little later.
Yeah, Hey Moni, obviously.
Yeah.
Done a lot of voiceovers for video games.
Yeah.
I did Scooby-Doo. I got to be one of the villains.
Cool. Wait a minute. Let me cut you. Let me cut you off for just a second. You said you were one of the villains, right?
Yeah, I got to say, if it wasn't for you, those darn kids.
That's what I wanted you to do. That's exactly what I wanted you to do.
The only thing I wanted. I walked in, I was like, do I get to say that? And they were like, yes, calm down. I'm a voice in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Mr. T's wife.
Cool.
But we've done a lot. I did a bunch of Spider-Man, and we both did Reservoir Dogs, and Superman I've done, and then,
I can't remember all those.
oh, there's lots of video games, because, but I can't, I'm trying to think of the other, quite a few. Those, when you go record for those, you don't mind.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you do wonderful lines, and you do a lot of like, don't go in there. You're like, ah, you know. And
Right.
so, you know, they kind of tend to all run into each other a little bit. You know what I mean?
Or like the getting hit.
Yeah. It's like,
Or like ooh. You know, like a long one. You're like ooh. Like and screams and stuff. So and you hear like a black street voice, and they're not all black, but like I remember in particular a bunch of the Spider-Man lines were like, "You call yourself a superhero, Spider-Man? That ain't nothing. I can do that." You know, just like just random voices.
Wow.
But it came for all of them. There are more.
Well, what were your favorites? What were the favorites you said?
I did like doing Spider-Man. I like it when you get a vague ethnicity, like a vague nationality, I should say. So like they were like for a character in Spider-Man, they wanted the person to be sort of okay, because of course this doesn't work as a description, African, because that's a continent, as you are probably aware, and there are lots of different cultures and languages all over this continent. So what you kind of get through like the kind of the Hollywood buzz speak on what people mean, and what they mean is probably of black African with a some sort of a little bit of Dutch and probably a heavy French colonial influence.
Exactly.
So it's like that. You end up you just make up an accent. You know, you do French, but not too French or whatever. Like so that's always I like that in Spider-Man, and those were fun.
And it was always fun too because we would always get my husband is a big video game player, so we'd always get the games that Angela was in and be like, "That's Angela!" And we'd be beat up with black race.
I mean, that's crab in the barrel.
Uh-oh. Think you're in trouble, Frances. You ready? Hey, do you guys mind me calling you by your first names? Okay, I'm just making sure. I just wanted to be sure I keep things respectful.
Angela's dog.
I'm worried my dog is sad.
Uh-oh.
He's not sad.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
Okay. He came over. He scratched me. That's all. I'm crazy.
He can be in the interview too.
Benny Bull.
I love it.
Well, yeah.
Well, my next question is actually for Frances because we talked about. I just mentioned the Cleveland show. You played Cleveland's mom, correct?
Yeah. Cookie.
Yes. How did it feel playing Cookie?
It was fun. It's a lot of fun because my husband was not Scott Robinson. What's the name? Craig Robinson. Ooh, we love Craig.
Oh, he played Freight Train.
He played Frank.
Okay, I love Craig Robinson.
And so this is the thing, which is horrible. I just couldn't come up with his name. I've known him for like 25 years, right? And I put, you know, we worked in like literally the first show, live show on stage he ever did was with me. Which is hysterical. But he's always been hysterical. But you working on the Cleveland show was a lot of fun. You would walk in to do, you know, and it was always really quick. You walk in and do a few lines, and Carl Reiner would be sitting there, or Will.I.Am is sitting there waiting to go into the booth. So that was always like really amazing, is to walk in and see super, super famous people.
It's like the who's who of who's gonna be there next. I love that. I really love that. Now, you two, well, when we last talked, you guys lived apart. Now, but now you live in the same city. But your schedules are still demanding, both apart and together. How do you guys keep the schedules together?
Angela is really the scheduling whiz. You know what I mean? It's like, here's the thing. Look, I'm the booker, right? I will book the travel. But Angela handles the paper and the schedule and kind of keeping us, like, together on things, So we each have our roles in terms of traveling and doing things and going places and what have you. So in that way, I think that's kind of how that goes down.
It's weird, because I think this is true for everybody. I feel like in life, not just performers, but... You know, like, you'll have nothing to do, and then everybody wants to do something on, like, the same day. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, they'll be like, because the summer, obviously, there's a lot of colleges, they're not bringing in activities because they have much lower enrollment if they have summer, classes. So we're kind of done with that for 2 or 3 months, and it's also a time when Hollywood tends to be a little bit quiet, but then there'll be, like, all of a sudden a week when there's a bunch of stuff to do, So... Here in LA, you can't schedule a lot in a day, just because it can take, one activity can really take the whole day.
Right.
Just traffic-wise, getting to and from things, that can be one thing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now my next question is about the campus tours. Describe your campus tours and how do they work and how does the fans receive you?
Well, we do, there's lots of ways to do. So we primarily work at this organization called NACA, which is like the National Activities Council American Colleges.
National Association of Campus Activities.
There you go. Yeah. And they have conferences, schools belong to this, and they have regional and national conferences and performers, all sorts of performers, bands, poets, hypnotists, tumbling groups.
Oh, wow.
They go and perform at these showcases. We usually end up being MCs at these showcases, and then those kids go back to their school and they call back, and they hire different people to come and do an activity. Yeah. So we do a lot of that. I mean, we get bookings through. You can always write us at frangela08@gmail.com and put you in contact with our agent, our booking agent for that stuff. But that's how the college shows basically happen. So they happen in these ways of, there's all sorts of rules about regions, So like earlier this year we did a lot of shows in in the Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New England area. But when we go back out in August, we'll be more in, I think, Iowa, Idaho, in that area. Yeah. And then every year you kind of you can do other regions.
Right, so then you might get one year you'll be like heavily south, You'll be doing shows in Georgia and Tennessee and Texas and, and Florida. And then you look up and then you're back on the East Coast doing North Carolina, South Carolina, Massachusetts.
So they have 6 regions that don't really make a lot of sense.
No, they don't make any sense.
Well, now I'm kind of upset because I'm in the Midwest. When you coming to the Midwest?
I don't know. This is the thing. We don't hire us.
Okay.
So other people have to do it.
See, you're from Chicago.
In the Midwest.
Right. But see, you're from Chicago. You gotta do the Midwest.
And the way that hiring works.
Right. Exactly.
Now, go. We're going to do a show. Please come.
Right.
So somebody has to book it. But that's the reason it doesn't happen. People are like, well, you were here last, why can't you come back again? I'm like, that's just how NACA operates. Yeah. They just have rules. They have actual rules about you can't do the same region every year.
Yeah.
I understand.
So sometimes it might take a year for us to swing back through.
Yeah.
And I think we did the Midwest. Did we do the Midwest last year or the year before?
The year before. So we're booked right now, and then we'll do some more conferences, and then we'll get booked back into the other regions. You know, so it's a cyclical pattern.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in your shows, what usually, and you guys can be the better judges of this, what keeps the fans laughing?
What keeps the fans laughing?
Yeah, what do you guys think?
We do a lot of pop culture. We try to make sure that our show is catered to our audience, you know, and where they are, you know. So college audiences are different than, say, going to do a club show, you know. If you're doing a club show for adults, you can talk about all kinds of things like, you know, a job and relationships and what have you.
But you go into, like, we did an act on a guy who was, a Canadian, did his entire act on being married and getting a mortgage, and he came off stage and he was like, you know, I think you guys could give me a better intro. We're like, oh, boo, it wasn't the intro.
No.
Wow.
No, they're 19.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. And you're talking to them about mortgages, and it's just not where they're at.
They're so far from that right now. Exactly.
And we're pretty young at heart, to put it kindly.
Yeah.
Or immature.
Yeah.
So those are our peeps. Like, so we can converse with, you know, younger people about what's going on. And we love those shows. The college shows are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, they're just so much, the audiences are great, and there's not that, the clubs can get negative, you know, and so it's so great to be in a situation where everybody wants to be there, and nobody feels like, make me laugh, I paid for this babysitter, you know.
Right.
And another thing is that, you know, college shows, we're fans of pop culture. And so, actually, you know, a lot of adults just aren't up on a lot of things, you know. We love music, we love seeing films, we love watching everything out on television. And so, you know, it's great to be able to talk about all the things we love.
And we're going to get into that in a few minutes when we talk about news headlines. Right now, I want to get a little personal. We're going to talk about relationships for a second. Now, Frances, last time we were on, you were married.
I am married.
All right. And Angela, you're still single, right?
I will be single forever.
Oh, why? Why? You guys are awesome. Oh, and also, congratulations. You have children now?
I have a daughter. She's 9 years old now.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Because, see, last time we spoke, when you were doing Hannah Montana, you were pregnant at the time. I did not know you were doing that role pregnant either. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
See, that's
I was pregnant. I mean, it's so funny, you know, because my daughter's never really seen the show. And some friends of hers showed it to her. And I said, do you realize that I am 8 months pregnant with you in this scene? Wow. You know, I was like, you're in that scene with me. And she was like, what?
And you can't even tell. That was the thing. When you guys told me that, I looked at the episode, because I used to work for an ABC affiliate. Okay. And they used to show Hannah Montana on Saturday mornings. And so I would watch the episodes, and then just at the same time I interviewed you, and I just couldn't tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I was really pregnant.
Magic.
Yeah. Now, Miss Angela, you can't be single forever.
Yeah, I can.
No. No.
Fully can.
Now, we're going to get off the subject in a second, but I just want to know, Angela, there's got to be someone you're crushing on, or someone that got a crush on you. I'm not asking who, but I'm just saying, no one?
No. Yeah. Like, when people ask me, I'm like, no. You think of someone. No.
You know what?
I have a lot of deal breakers, I'll be honest. I'm not easy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, just, no. I mean, there are people I'd like to take advantage of, like Channing Tatum. I mean, I'd like to just lick him, but he doesn't have to be, like, awake. You know? Get his rest.
Oh, my God.
But, like, he's married and in love with his wife, and I don't think we'd get along other than me licking him. I think that's the bedrock of our relationship.
I'm sure she is used to people licking now.
She should be. It's kind of the generous, decent thing to me.
Well, so you got to be a little generous in that area. It's Channing Tatum. You understand? Channing Tatum. Magic Mike. That's what it is.
Yeah. Adore him.
So, well, my next question, I want to talk seriously about comedy for a bit. Just seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years since we've spoken, we lost a lot of greats. One example, Bernie Mac. But we've actually gained a lot of people like Kevin Hart, things like that. Do you guys what do you guys think of the changing face of comedy since we've last spoken?
Right. You know, here's the thing. It's like, you look at comedy, you know, like say, we'll take a Cat Williams, you know, or a Kevin Hart, you know. They're very different than the comedians, like say even from Bernie Mac on back, you know, that we kind of grew up on, you know, like when you go back to Richard Pryor or George Carlin or those people, and it really does feel like at the very top, there's a lot of black male stand-up.
You know what? I add just a little bit. I feel like the face of comedy has changed, that they're different people, but I think if you look at the breakdown numerically, it's the same.
Yeah.
Like, the fact of the matter is, we got all new late-night hosts who, guess what? There's one guy who's actually, like, The Daily Show he's black, the new replacement, but he's British or something or something. I forget
Noah Trevor.
Yeah, Noah Trevor. And so the reality is that I don't know that we've made any real gains, except that we've had the person who crossed over before has now been replaced by somebody younger, but of the same kind of hue, you know, like, and I don't even just mean color, I mean gender, I mean kind of comedy, you know, you've got, you know, like the old guard, if you will, that's still out here, and I'm not trying to be mean to say Jerry Seinfeld was the old guard or something, but like you got somebody like him, and now he's getting uppity and getting crankety about, you know, these younger comedians, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, they are sort of like, not to invoke anybody that we don't want to hear about, but like, you know, there have been, I think that comedy is still very male. I think that it is still very white male. I think that we all knew who Medea was for 15, 20 years before white people in this country had ever heard of him, you know, and so I think we're still not, do you know how many people don't know who Cat Williams is? Right. The man does stadium shows, but a huge portion of this country, you know, white people have never heard of him. So I think I don't know that much has changed. The faces have changed. I think the topics aren't that different. I would say in general, that most of the comedians now, while being very funny, I'd say a lot of them are a lot less daring than, like I think about Chris Rock. I mean, who else? Who's, you know, from his first really big show, you know, like, who in comedy is doing any sort of political humor like that? Yeah, there's a couple out there, but not a lot. And not at that level. No, they're not at that level yet, you know. No. So it's sort of like, I mean, I was frankly really disappointed in the turnover in late night, even though these are people I like, and some of them who I really like and love, like Colbert, you know. But it's like, you know, could a woman get on? Like, it's just, you know, it just sort of feels in that way like it's not that different. It is nice that some new people are getting some gigs, but, and to see people break through in some areas, but it's still very male, like, and really unfriendly to women, I would say in general.
Man, those ladies are cut up. Now, because I'm interviewing Frangela, we're going to have limited commercial interruptions, but I just wanted to stop for a second and pause for a commercial break. Here we go.
Are we getting any closer, Mark?
Before his book, Murder by Execution, is released, get to know investigative reporter Mark Alexander in his first 2 books by author H.D. Campbell. Late Murder at 10. Find the murder of news anchor killed on the air. Start, the virtual killer. Track down a very dangerous cyber serial killer before the body count rises. Get both books at your favorite bookstore at Amazon.com and other online outlets. Also available on Kindle and Nook.
Yeah.
All right. You know I'm recording you guys, right?
You didn't have to appreciate it.
Yeah, but I want to appreciate it. I know that it's a roadblock. It's a hard thing.
It's a hard thing. I'm trying.
What is it you want? Whiny McWine a lot?
All right. You know I'm rolling on you guys, right?
Hard not to look.
I know.
I'm trying to look at you know yourself. That's a lot. And then from that, just a that.
Where you get cookies? Why you been so silly?
My dog.
Are we gonna get any doggy FaceTime?
I'm sorry, what?
We gonna get any doggy FaceTime?
What you say?
Doggy FaceTime.
Oh, dog eating my boofy. Yeah. He's a sweetheart. Maybe in a minute. Just sitting here, I'll try.
Oh, that's fine. Aww. It's cute. All right. I like that. All right. My next question is actually, what fuels Frangela's comedy? What gives you guys your power?
Okay. I would say outrage gives us our power. We get passionate about a subject, or it can be huge. It can be about Black Lives Matter. It can be about police brutality, and then it can also just be about paper towels too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, we're gonna, you know, I think that we can be passionate about so many different things, you know.
Except we're not blasé kind of people.
No, we're not.
So I actually think that's the thing that makes us actually very unique in commentary. Because usually, because we do a lot of pop culture commentary, news, political commentary, but most of the commentary, the people are either mocking and kind of looking down on pop culture, or looking down on the subject they're talking about, and they're kind of snarky and very sort of low energy. That's sort of the general guy take on it, or they're like informational. You know, and this is the history of this. This is the history of that. But I think we're in a small percentage of people who like and respect it and and are very passionate about it. So we can really get into the nitty. Like we were on a podcast last night that explores episodes of Beverly Hills 90210. Yeah. So we got down. Yeah, okay, on Ashes to Ashes, that episode. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I love it.
Because we just don't know how to not care. It's not about we care.
Yeah, we're fans and we're excited.
And we don't care if other people think it's uncool or something. Like we're fans of this stuff. We think it's great. And so
also, if you don't have a feeling or a point of view about something, why are you there? Why are you opening your mouth? Why are we even having this discourse at this moment? You know, I personally don't want to see someone who's just kind of rather bland.
Yeah, like, nah.
I understand. I truly understand. So, with that being said, my next question is: are there any topics that are off limits to you guys?
Off limits.
I would say that this can be hard for some people. Not everything is funny.
Right.
You know, and I would say that, you know, we do this podcast, it is week, we talk about stupid people, and I think sometimes, and stupid things they do, but there's a difference between the guy who tries to rob a bank by writing the robbery note on the back of his own personal check. That's stupid.
Yeah.
You know, that's the kind of story we mean, but I think sometimes we'll get confused. The people will think, oh, well, here's this child molester who made this dumb mistake and got caught. We're like, yeah, but child molesting is not funny. You know, like, we don't find that funny. So we're not shock comedians. We don't say things just to shock people. It's not the type of comedy I've ever been that interested in. I like comedy with a point of view or that's fun, you know, but generally I'm not just, and we're not mean. So if we're talking about something, it's because it's put itself out there and it's fair to talk about it, if you will. But we don't, there's some topics, I think there are people that we do not want to, I'm not going to hear either, give them any more of our time as a culture. Right. You know, I mean, you can probably get the family on talking about a bunch of ladies. And we just don't give them we refuse to give them any more time.
I understand.
So that's a personal choice and not, they get to do their due, you know. But other than that, you know, we just, in terms of being able to say, like, you know, Sandra Bland isn't funny. Yeah. You know, Cosby raping women, not funny.
Right.
You know, so for us, I'm not there yet, you know, if I ever would be there. So that might, I think sometimes that Rarely, because I think people who know us and who are, friends with us and all that, they think they get it, and they're in the same kind of place.
And here's the thing: do we have a dark sense of humor? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just not.
We're not overly sensitive or sensitized, but there are places that I'm like, no, that's not funny.
This is the thing. Our thing is, you can go there.
Yeah.
But we've had people who listen to us and follow us and stuff. There was a couple times where somebody. Something was going on, and somebody kept trying to sort of tweet about something kind of trivial, and I literally will just say to that person, you know what, boo, today is about this.
Yeah.
Right. And they always, we're believing in respecting people, and they're always like, oh, you're right, I get it. And I was like, but maybe Thursday we'll be ready to joke about this, but today, not so much. So that's definitely...
Yeah, because at the end of the day, also, we're people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We actually are... pretty much we're who we are, so it's not we don't have it's not like we're I think somebody like Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Who has this persona.
Right.
And I don't know what he's like. Without Rubin. Paul Rubin is without that persona, but this is actually like us. So and not really different except we do swear more. And we're probably a lot more vulgar when we're off camera.
Yeah.
I would say. And we treat each other really badly a lot. It's pretty abusive. But it's funny. But it's really funny.
I love you too. I'm never going to stop loving you too. So be afraid, be happy, however you want to be. I'll never stop loving you too.
Oh, we'll never stop loving you, HD.
Thank you very much. Have you guys ever worked with anyone you would love to work with again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did a show at Radio City Music Hall, and one of the presenters was Meryl Streep.
Oh, yeah.
And to be on stage and hear Meryl Streep laughing at you, I mean, the actress of all actresses,
Exactly.
She just embraced us both and she's like crying and laughing. She goes, I love you, I want to take you everywhere. And I was like, I'm in Radio City Music Hall with Meryl Streep saying she loves me, wants to take me everywhere. I can die right now. Done. And so that's amazing. Or we really love doing Quick Draws, the most fun show ever to work on. And Nancy and John are amazing to work with. They have the most fun set I've ever been on.
Yes.
So anything with them would always be amazing. They're really talented and always working on stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And we get and getting to meet what's lovely in being who we are. We get to meet we just met Lily Tomlin.
Oh my.
Okay. Hi, I'm Frances Callier.
And I'm Angela Shelton.
And we're Frangela. And you're watching
Author's Corner.
Just who is author H.D. Campbell, you ask? He's the multi-genre author you have yet to get to know. Once you open his books, you can have a romance, get wrapped up on a world of mystery and suspense, or you can go on a journey to stop an international incident. Log on to his new personal page at hdcampbell.weebly.com and look for it in the More section. Check out his latest blog tours, book signings, release dates, and more. Then get updates from his author, H.D. Campbell's Facebook page for the most latest. Get to know H.D. Campbell and let your writing fill your spirit.
Hi, this is Luna Charles. This is my third book, My Life, My Rules. A beautiful story about a woman who overcame so much only to face even more adversity in learning that she is about to be ripped apart from her family. Follow her through her trials and tribulations as she learns how to overcome adversity spiritually and find the deep strength inside all of us that we have, that we can claim from the universe to make our life the way we want. This is truly a moving book, award-winning, and I know you'll love it. Thank you.
Ever experienced a love for someone so forbidden? You feel so wrong, but yet his passion makes you feel oh so right? Even if you have, meet Solomon and Sheba, my award-winning author, Francine Kraft, and experience it all again. Experience the roadblocks of pregnancy, past transgressions, and the deathbed confession threatens the most powerful of romances. Can they survive? By Solomon and Sheba from your favorite bookstore, Amazon, and BarnesandNoble.com.
Okay. What are you guys looking at over there? I'm recording, by the way. I'm ready. I'm ready, guys.
Okay.
So, yeah. What are you guys looking at over there?
Oh, I got an email from Barack Obama.
Uh-oh. Really? Cool.
It's you know, campaigning. It's not.
I get those.
Not really for him.
I understand. I get those a lot.
But Hillary will not. She keeps blowing up my phone.
Well, hold on for that just for a second. Hold on for that just for a second. My next question, I'm actually going to skip over because we've already talked about a couple of the things we've already talked about. Are there moments where you don't feel as funny?
I'm sorry?
Are there moments when you don't feel as funny?
Are there days or you said our audiences?
Yeah. Are there days in which you don't feel as funny?
You know,
There are subjects.
But here's the thing. At the end of the day, my job is to get up on the stage and make people laugh.
Right.
So I don't get to have a bad day.
If I got a performance, I'm performing.
Yes, you have to perform.
You know, so that's the way that is.
Yeah, you show up and you make people laugh, you know, or we're doing a television show or, you know, commentary. Even if it's not necessarily something that I particularly love, you know, the subject matter or something like that. I have to find something in there that makes me laugh so I can communicate that laughter and having a good time with the audience.
Yeah, it's the same as in that respect, the same as any other job.
Yeah.
Like if you're a cashier at the grocery store, you don't come in and cry all day at the cash register because something really horrible has happened. You know, somebody you love has died. People expect you to show up to work and to show up ready to work.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely true for us. We are not. Some comedians, I will say, comedians have this reputation for being dark and being depressed, and we're not those people.
No.
So, but we're not necessarily always trying to do a peg 10. You know, we're not. That's not even the kind of comedy we do anyway.
No. And we're not always on either.
Right, but that doesn't. But we're always amiable, affable, friendly, and interested. You know, like we're gonna be all those things. But there's definitely performance energy and at-home energy.
Yeah.
You know, and those are different.
Okay.
You know, like we're sitting up to talk to you, and that's different.
Right.
If we were just hanging out, we'd be laying down.
Yeah. I understand. Oh, so the interview would be more right. So the interview. So you mean if I was there, right? So if I was there. So if I was there, I would interview you like I'm a psychologist and you guys are just on the couch and you talk. What do you guys feel about Black Lives Matter?
I don't think, like, for example, Black Lives Matter is not funny. No.
You know, so that basically goes into what's off topic.
You know, I'm gonna say that for me, you know, is it an opportunity to have a conversation? You know, and it's tough because
we're not understanding
a single word you're saying.
Oh no, you're fine. Just keep talking. You guys are fine.
Okay, good. I would say, you know, for us, and you know, for me, in terms of Black Lives Matter, you know, we straddle two worlds. We straddle this kind of news commentary world, and we straddle this comedic commentary world.
Yeah, or more pop culture.
And pop culture and what have you. And so, you know, having to, you know, and it's tough because people can have an expectation that you're going to make this funny.
Right, and that's not. We had a radio show, local AM progressive news talk radio show here in Los Angeles for years called The Week According to Frangela, and we had funny segments on it, but literally, like, some things just aren't funny, and black people being executed by police officers isn't funny. No. But we do have an opportunity to say things to people in many forums, you know, we do, and we're not, you know. Our only rule is that everybody has to be respectful, you know, and as long as people are respectful, they can disagree. You know, I'm not going to be your friend if you think it's okay to execute black people. Let's be clear, you know, and then I'll block you.
Exactly.
You know, but
I'm going to say for me, that's going to put a damper on my relationship.
Right.
You know, but generally speaking, like, but Yeah, so that where we're at is where, first of all, we for a living fly into very small communities, get rental cars, and drive hours through back roads with nothing on them in the south, in Idaho, and at night, you know. And we have been pulled over by some very less than friendly police officers, and it just, of course, as of late, seems like it almost seems like a national cry has gone out to police officers to just shoot black people in the head. Yeah. So for us, it's actually a matter, we've had many discussions about it, but for us, we are really seriously looking at our procedure for how we deal with when we land in a community, you know, and we get our rental card, and, you know, really asking ourselves questions like, do we need to have the students follow us back to our hotel? You know, to make sure we get there. Do we need to, because some communities, you can feel it. Yeah. The school is great, the kids are great, but the surrounding community, not so much. And then there are places where you might have a preconceived notion it's going to be bad, and they're wonderful, you know, but it's hard to find that out at midnight on a back, you know, Georgia road. You know, so for us, it actually is an issue of personal safety, and we really do have to figure out, because it is, at this moment, completely out of control.
Right. Well, let's see, bringing the topic back up a little bit, upbeat a little bit, give me your top 3 news headlines and what you think about them.
Top 3 news headlines?
Yeah, that's of interest to Frangela.
Well,
what are Frangela's top 3 headlines? They could be pop culture, news, whatever.
Right. Well, number one, I think Angela's really excited in terms of pop culture about the new Walking Dead show that's about to come on.
Wait.
I'm so excited.
Fear the Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I cannot wait. I think it's really, like, is it this weekend?
Yes, I believe so.
I think the spinoff may be premiering this weekend.
Think it
and
is.
then Walking Dead will be back, not soon enough, but, you know, in the fall. I'm love it. Very excited. We're both Game of Thrones. Huge Game of Thrones fans.
Not loving the new True Detective.
It sucks.
I'm not loving it.
It's horrible.
I need to catch up. I really do. I need to catch up.
Yeah.
It's horrible. You know what? You caught up. Let me catch up right now. Everybody has a drinking problem, and you don't know what the crime is they're investigating.
Are you serious?
Nobody cares.
That's still, and that guy is gay.
I love it.
You know all this, so I'm not spoiling anything.
No. Yeah.
The cute boy from Lone Survivor.
Ooh, it's so good.
Delicious. Good. I don't know why I was an ass in Spin Village. I would say me
I love you guys.
It's delicious. I love what I want to eat. No. I was a good guy.
Well,
benevolent. Well, that's the thing. What else is news? Oh, Trump.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh, I've got to hear this.
We just want to follow the Trump campaign. Like, I would give anything for some rich, eccentric person. The guy was being hustler guy.
Larry Flint.
Larry Flint. Maybe if we could figure out somebody to contact him, because maybe he would finance us following Trump.
I know. Somebody actually wrote us and said, I'd like to start a Kickstarter for you. But this is the problem I had with the letter.
Right.
He was like, look, I get high. I want but I like to get stoned all day.
I like his honesty.
I love his honesty. You can't drive us around.
No, honestly, I think you can watch our person. Because you can attach your purse around a high person, you know what I mean? And then, like, hold our purse. But this is my thing. Like, I told him, I went back and I was like, here's the deal. I'm serious. I'm like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to I have a sister who works in politics, she works on campaigns, and try to figure out what if his campaign schedule is actually, like, happening and cemented. Yeah. And I was like, if we can pick even just a few events, because I was like, I don't feel comfortable just having a general Kickstarter, but I do feel comfortable like, this is the exact amount of money it would take for us to go, you know, to get to these places, and then if we're able to make some kind of inroads, and I think we could, to get into the press pool, I'm pretty sure we can on that. But I was like, hey, you know, I'm willing to do that, but I'm not going to just sort of like, let's, in a sort of a, you know, I don't want people giving money if we're not really going to get it done, you know.
Right.
But I think that would be awesome. We're just loving everything he's got. I'm really considering getting a Trump t-shirt. Yes. Because I just think it's fabulous. I mean, the words that come out of his mouth, you could never drink all.
Crazy. I mean, it believes in its own gravy. It's like, it's making its own juice.
Right.
Wonderful. And see, this is our plan. What we want to do is solve campaign, make him love us, and then just set him up. Because you can set Trump up really easy. You just go to him, like, take a microphone and be like, Mr. Trump, I just saw a handicapped black person begging outside. Go! And just let him talk himself into that trap.
Right.
Talk himself right into it, you know? What do you think about people who love terrorists? No! Set him up. Because he's brilliant. You couldn't, I couldn't think of stuff that he comes up with.
See, like I said,
I love it.
But this is why I love you.
It happened to the Democratic Party either, ever.
Right. This is why I love you guys. You guys are so wonderful. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So my next question, actually I only have a couple questions left. So if I want to follow Aunt Frangela's career, how can I do so?
Really? It's so easy to start.
Yes, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Frangela.
You can write us at frangela08@gmail.com, for our website, frangela.com, which is not updated, but will be. So, you know, the tech is always, as you know, is always the demon.
Oh, yeah.
You know, baby, this is not in the tech. But, yeah, and then Facebook, Twitter, yeah, all those places, and inside. Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to be talking to us. So.
All right. So now
you know.
Right. All right. I know I'm going to be laughing so much, but I'm going to tell you, this is why I give you guys the final word. You guys can give shout-outs. You guys can give advice. You can do whatever. But I want to give you guys the chair, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. You know, one of the things we love to say, a piece of advice we like to tell people is the worst kind of lie you can tell is the lie you tell yourself.
Yeah, don't lie to you.
Don't lie to you.
You know, and we believe, I'm going to tell you something. If you haven't read Marie Kondo's book, The Con Artist Method, you are lying to yourself.
Yes.
You're keeping yourself from a great awakening.
Oh, and another piece of advice we have all the time is, if you have a butt plug in your ass, stay in for the night. You know, we just take it from us, from years of doing Idiot of the Week. Yeah. That there are some activities that once they started, that's the only activity for the night. That's right. So if you've got a butt plug in, stay home. Number one, always. Yeah. Always. Number two, if you're going to have sex with a bench, bring some WD-40, things can go wrong. They can. You know, you don't want to get stuck and have that embarrassing moment. Because you will find, we will talk about you openly. Right. Yeah, we will mock you. With wild abandon. Yes, and you can follow us on, and watch Idiot of the Week on YouTube. You can find us. It should be other places, but again, we're having sex. Yeah. So, but it's on our YouTube channel right now for sure. And, yeah, that's, I think those are good pieces of advice. Yes, and you can always catch us also on Stephanie Miller on Friday mornings. Friday for Frangela. I can't believe I did, because we're going to be there tomorrow morning. Yeah, so and on Fridays, generally, if we're not out of town, which we aren't tonight, too.
Thank you.
Just who is author H.D. Campbell, you ask? He's the multi-genre author you have yet to get to know. Once you open his books, you can have a romance, get wrapped up on a world of mystery and suspense, or you can go on a journey to stop an international incident. Log on to his new personal page at hdcampbell.weebly.com and look for it in the More section. Check out his latest blog tours, book signings, release dates, and more. Then get updates from his author, H.D. Campbell's Facebook page for the most latest. Get to know H.D. Campbell and let your writing fill your spirit. Have you experienced the Bruce Williams series of books, How to Lose a Black Woman and Geraldine? Experience Bruce Williams' journey, true love, and possible missteps along the way through his eyes, his poetry, and prayers. Then, meet Geraldine, whose own search for love makes some quite interesting and possibly dangerous turns. When she gets involved in a love triangle, she must find out within herself whom she wants to be with and whom she needs to be with. With special appearances by Bruce Williams, Geraldine and her friends help you experience her journey. Try How to Lose a Black Woman and Geraldine at your local bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or on your Nook and Kindle tablet.
hope you really enjoyed I Talk to Frangela. They are so wonderful. We'll catch up with them in the future. Before I go, I just want to say a few things. There's going to be a lot of good things coming out of the AC Campbell show camp coming soon. AC Television is my new production company, which we're going to do cooking shows, we're going to do community affairs shows, we're going to do documentaries, we're going to do a whole bunch of other things. Also, be on the lookout for a new book from me, as well as a lot of other great things. So peace,